The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. And as always, welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. So got my regular crew with me. So good morning, Carol and Pedro.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
All right. Well, like we said yesterday, there's no interest groups for today or tomorrow. But we will be back with you on Friday with movie night being the first day of the month. So, again, enjoy your evening while you can, or like I said, if you got a interest in starting a group or something, again, see, we got empty time slots. You can slide in there and, get your interest group going on something you might be interested in. I always say this. I've been saying it from day one because it surprises me most of the time. Hey, you never know what people might be interested in. You know what I'm saying? You're not the only one on the planet that's interested in certain things, So, again, just depending on what it is, I guess, you're always going to find somebody else that's interested in what you are interested in. So, again, info@blindunited.org, and we're going to work it out and try to set something up for you. So, anyway, we're talking about blood today. Carol suggested that we do some things on blood donations, and the first one is, always going to start off with, the purpose and the need, why it's important to do this. So anyway, Pedro, when you're ready, you can hit that button, my brother.
Hey, Blind United crew, let's pour our first cup for a topic that flows through the very heart of our community's well-being. Blood donation. It is one of the most simple yet profound gifts one person can give to another, a selfless act that takes about an hour but can have a life-altering impact. While we often only think about the need for blood during major emergencies, the reality is that the demand is constant, quiet, and absolutely critical every single day, according to the American Red Cross. A patient in the United States is in need of blood or platelets every 2 seconds. This staggering statistic highlights a silent, ongoing crisis. Unlike other medical supplies that can be manufactured and stockpiled, blood is a living tissue that cannot be artificially created. It can only come from volunteer donors. Furthermore, donated blood has a limited shelf life. Red blood cells must be used within 42 days, and platelets, which are crucial for cancer patients, must be used within just 5 days. This means the supply must be constantly replenished by the generosity of donors. The need for blood touches all walks of life in ways we might not expect. It's not just for victims of major accidents. A single car crash victim can require as many as 100 units of blood. However, the majority of donated blood is used to help patients with other conditions. Cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy often need platelet transfusions to survive treatment. Patients undergoing major surgeries, like organ transplants or heart surgery, depend on a stable blood supply. And individuals with chronic blood disorders, such as sickle cell anemia, may require regular transfusions throughout their lives just to stay healthy. The power of a single donation is immense. 1 pint of donated blood is separated into 3 components, red cells, platelets, and plasma, and can potentially save up to 3 lives. Certain blood types, like O-negative, are especially critical. Because O-negative red blood cells can be transfused to patients of any blood type, it is the universal type that doctors reach for in trauma situations when there isn't time to determine a patient's blood type. Less than 10% of the US population has O-negative blood, making those donors especially valuable. Donating blood is a safe, simple, and powerful way to make a direct impact on the health of your community. It is a lifeline that connects us all. The need for blood touches every community and all walks of life. Have you or someone you know ever been impacted by the generosity of a blood donor, or have you ever donated yourself? We would love to hear your story in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, I learned a little something. I didn't know that I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but okay, blood lasts 42 days. The platelets itself and the plasma only lasts 5 days. I mean, I didn't realize that part, right? But I mean, I know it's well needed. I myself personally, I think I've told the story before. You guys know I lost a son of mine to cancer, and I do remember during that period of time, that he was getting platelets. When he was undergoing chemo and stuff like that. So, I can see I should say my son was a benefactor of people's, donations and stuff like that. And for that, I'm grateful for every day that I had with him. So, but just to think that, people all over the planet need this stuff on a regular basis, it just makes you want to go and do donations, right? I mean, it should. Let's put it that way, But I mean, again, it's important that we try to do what we can to try to save as many lives as we can, and that, like they said, this is something that can't be, duplicated in a laboratory. It's got to be coming from a volunteer donor. So I understand it. I get it. It makes perfect sense to me. So go ahead, Carol.
Uh, I didn't realize the expiration of the blood either. But I do remember, when I was younger, I donated quite a bit. And it made me kind of weak and feel funny, the first couple of times, I guess, because your body, even though they give you oranges and cookies and stuff, juice, before you leave, but it was just an easy process to go in there and fill out some paperwork. They do your blood type, make sure you have no type of diseases or anything like that, and they sit you up in a little recliner and, you know, pull your blood out while it's leaking into a bag. And it was just an easy process. And I felt like, I was helping somebody. Of course, with the plasma centers now, they have individuals that they pay them, to give plasma and just things like that we just don't really think about that can save people's lives and just kind of help them recuperate a whole lot better. They even have, I think, where you can pull out your own blood if you don't want somebody else's blood. You don't know if it's coming from this person, a woman, a man, anything. You just accept it because you need it. But I don't do it anymore. But I may need to start. So I think it's a wonderful thing if people are able to donate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I did the plasma thing quite a bit, really.
Hmm.
I mean, again, I did it for the money, to be, fully honest, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it felt good knowing that that plasma was going to help other people.
Hmm.
I mean, they tell us in there, there's many different reasons, but you know, one of the main reasons was burn victims. They use plasma for the something about helping heal the wounds and stuff like that. Stuff. So, but something I just thought about. Okay, well, if blood expires in 42 days, what good is you're not keeping my blood, right?
Right.
Because by the time I need it, that blood is dead.
It's dead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's basically that. Okay, well, they donated, so it's just like when you go to bank, you put your money in the bank, but when you get ready to go pull it out, you don't get them same dollars.
Right.
And you're getting somebody else's stuff. So, and to think that you're gonna get your own blood back. And, that's not what's truly happening. So, but anyway, what you got, Pedro?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gone and donated blood. Sometimes we go to these events and out here in the community and stuff like that. And you go in and I know for donating or just even getting blood taken out, like in a doctor's appointment, it's good to drink a lot of water, so you won't feel weak or dried out. Like you drink a lot of water and it's easier and faster. The blood will flow out faster. And that's what they tell you when you go donate blood in some of these centers. They tell you drink a lot of water before because even with plasma, you just sit there and let it just go when you drink a lot of water. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was donating plasma, plasma you can donate twice a week, where blood you can only donate, what is it, every 3 months or something like that. I know it's
Mm-hmm.
a big period of time,
I'm not
but
sure. Yeah, but you can't do it as often as you do plasma. You're
right.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
But the days before I would donate plasma, man, I would just drink water all day long. Like I said, because the more water you got in your system, once you get on that machine, they go through what they call cycles, where they draw out a certain number of units of blood, and then it's in this machine and it spins it and separates the plasma. And as it separates, the plasma goes into a bottle, and then they give you your blood back, right? So I guess they're basically giving you your red cells and platelets back. But again, yeah, water does help. I mean, because if I didn't drink water, I might be in there, 2, 3 hours trying to donate. Well, if I drink a lot of water, I can get in there and be out, in about an hour, you know, and it works out great. So,
Yeah,
but
water does help.
I mean, water, what they say is, it's life, necessity. You got to have it in your system, what they say, we're 80, 90% water.
I'm drinking a bottle of it now with my coffee.
I hear you. So, but no, I mean, donating is really, really good. I mean, when you think about it, where would we be if, run to the hospital nowadays, something happens where you need blood. What would you do if they didn't have blood? Now you got to find a family member. You got to find somebody that's compatible, right?
Hmm.
Because you can't just take any blood. Like you say, that type O is, that goes across the board. And I mean, not that I get into people's business that much, but right now I know one person that has type O. You know what I'm saying? Out of
I don't
everybody
know
I know.
anyone. It's
Well,
rare.
I think there's type O negative and type O positive. I
Well,
don't know if I'm negative or positive. I'm one of the O's though.
Hmm.
okay. Well, I mean, again, I'm not sure exactly how it goes. They didn't
Yeah.
clear that. They just said type O. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they
Yeah.
said O
So,
negative. I heard the article.
okay. Well, I didn't hear that part. So, excuse
Mm-mm.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm O positive, but it's I wonder why that blood type is rare and why is it compatible across all blood types? Because that's the
Interesting.
one they reach to, you know.
I don't know. That might be
Don't know either, Pedro.
What happened?
that might be another thing to look at.
Yeah.
Why is that blood types so rare but yet
Compatible. Mm.
so compatible?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I mean, like I say, just it's when you get into getting inside your body and all that kind of stuff, man. That's I back away because that's just way too much information. It's just
And see, that's the part I love. I love, science, anatomy. I just love all of that. That's my stuff.
so but yeah, no, I mean it's important. I mean the Red Cross, I mean they do a lot, especially when it comes to this kind of stuff. They the go-to source. I'm not sure if any other countries have, an organization like Red Cross, but I do know that Red Cross does also help out around the planet as well. So I mean, they might be the only organization on the planet that's doing this. That'd be sad to think that they are, right?
Well,
Hmm.
they're a big part. they have other sub organizations they work with. There are other worldwide organizations, but one of the main ones that people default to and know is the Red Cross, and they do provide a lot of help. They provide vaccines for polio and all that stuff for kids that are in other countries, third world countries. So they be doing some work, and they're able to do this work by funding guys. So donate. I know in their website they got donations, because they do go across the world and help out even, children and women and other parts of the world that do need help. We just saw how a lot of funding got taken away, just to stay away from that. But yes, some funding got cut back. So,
Right,
donating does help
Mm-hmm.
causes that are in otherwise
right.
in other places that we usually don't see. It's good
Right.
to help places that, you know,
Well,
need that.
I wonder, like, 'cause, it actually is the American Red Cross. So I
The
wonder,
American Red Cross.
if
And
it's, in other countries, it might be, European Red Cross or whatever. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that, like, I got a friend that I met when I was in DPI. This brother had got hacked up with an axe.
mm,
Okay, literally hacked up with an axe. I mean, he was hit
dang.
several times with a axe.
Ooh.
But anyway, while he was on the table, they ran through what they say the equivalent of 3 times the blood that your body holds, just trying to keep him alive while they was fixing, the hemorrhaging, all of the veins and all the stuff where he got cut. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate to say it this way, but this brother was leaking everywhere. You know,
Right.
and
Right.
but bottom line, they saved his life. He's good now. I mean, uh, uh, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still got issues. Matter of fact, I don't even know if his blindness was caused from all of that or not. I'm not 100% sure. There could be, so having lack of blood that long, I guess it could damage your eyes. But again, we're just grateful for the technology and the knowledge that these folks
Hmm.
have. And
And you're right, Ed. Having no blood in your eye nerves is less oxygen.
right, 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 right. So, but this brother here, like I said, he's here, and he's still alive, and
That's a
making
blessing.
babies, all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
he's living his best life, even though he had to go through all of that. So I mean, and he was in a coma to the point to where the hospital wanted to pull the plug on him. And Mama said, "No, I'll take him home." And while he's in the coma, and we just monitor him at home, and then he woke up.
Mm.
So I mean, Mama had a lot of faith, and where the hospital was ready to let him go. So never give up hope, never give up your faith. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I say that doctors and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's a gift to be able to learn how to do all that kind of stuff, and you know what I'm saying. And knowledge is, have the knowledge of how the body works and how intricate within our bodies is, and not only that, how important the blood is to our system, and making sure these veins stay open. I mean, y'all know I just had my surgery where they had to put a couple stents in me, 6 to be exact. But bottom line, my arteries and stuff were getting plugged up and stuff like that. And, I had aneurysms and whatnot. So, part of it was for the aneurysms. The rest of it was basically just to help with the blood flow, So, but again, blood is important. We need to step up. We need to do more for our fellow man, women, all of that, human beings. And, like I said, when you laying on that table and you need some blood, all that racism go out the window. You don't care where that blood came from. You just thankful they got it on hand,
Right.
So, because without it, we would be not here. So anyway, we're talking about blood all day today. So anyway, Pedro, go on and hit us with a couple promos, and we'll get into the second article.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew. All right. Well, like you say, interest groups, that's our foundation. That's where we provide all the free training and socialization, entertainment, just you name it. Pretty much we got a piece of it somewhere on their schedule. So, come on in, check us out and, become part of the Blind United family and what I'm saying, get some help with, your technology or, just have a conversation with, folks from the community about different things we all go through. So anyway, this next article is actually all about, people's reluctance to donate. So check this one out and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hey Blind United crew, let's grab our next cup. After discussing the immense and constant need for blood, a natural and perplexing question arises. If it's so important, why do so few eligible people, less than 5% of the U.S. population, donate regularly? The truth is that the gap between good intentions and action is often wide. The reasons people are reluctant to donate are complex, touching on everything from simple inconvenience to deep-seated fears. On the surface, there are many practical barriers. For most, life is simply busy. Finding an hour or more to travel to a donation center, go through the process, and rest afterward can be a significant challenge to fit into a packed schedule of work and family commitments. Many people also just lack awareness. Unless a major disaster strikes, the call for blood donations isn't always front-page news, so it doesn't stay top of mind. Furthermore, a surprising number of would-be donors are deferred for medical reasons, such as low iron, recent travel, or a new tattoo. This experience, while necessary for safety, can be discouraging and make them less likely to try again. Beyond the practical, there are powerful psychological roadblocks. The most common is a fear of needles or trypanophobia. For many, the anxiety associated with the needle poke is a genuine and overwhelming deterrent. Others harbor a fear of the unknown, worrying about feeling faint, weak, or having a negative reaction during or after the donation. There is also a well-documented psychological phenomenon known as the bystander effect. Many people assume that since blood donation is so important, surely someone else is handling it. They believe the supply is being taken care of by others, which diffuses their own sense of personal responsibility. This leads to the paradox at the heart of the user's prompt. Why does this reluctance often vanish the moment a person or their loved one needs blood? The answer lies in the sudden shift from the abstract to the deeply personal. When a family member is in the hospital, the community blood supply is no longer a vague concept. It's a bag of plasma hanging by their bedside. The crisis becomes immediate and personal. At that moment, all the previous barriers, fear, inconvenience, the bystander effect, are overwhelmed by the urgent, tangible need. The someone else who needs to take responsibility suddenly becomes me. Understanding these barriers is not about placing blame, but about recognizing the human factors that keep the blood supply in a constant state of need. The reluctance to donate is rarely born from a lack of caring, but from a combination of everyday hurdles and very real human anxieties. Understanding these barriers is the first step to overcoming them. What do you believe is the single biggest reason that keeps potential donors from making that first appointment? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Now back to the coffee time crew for their thoughts.
Oh, well, all right. Well, Monica popped into the comments. She says good morning, and that she knows someone that has to get a transfusion, get blood almost every month. I think we're probably talking about the same person, and she does. The girl I'm thinking of, I don't know the same, but anyway, she does. She has to go get blood. Seems like almost every month she's got to go get a transfusion. For the stuff that she's dealing with. I mean, this is a lucky lady. She, by according to the doctor, should have been gone a long time ago. But a girl is still here. She's still doing her thing, and thank God for the doctors and all that kind of stuff that are, keeping her alive. So, but I mean, what they saying here is true. I mean, again, I didn't think about donating blood until, like my son. When okay, well, we need you to go downstairs, because he's going to need to do this, and we're going to need blood from him. So, the whole family went down there. We all got, tested, got typed, and all that. I don't even remember what my type is, but anyway, we all donated, and like they call it a blood bank, because again, using that same scenario, you put the blood in, so now you got credit for, however many pints of blood. And then when you come back, then okay, well, we already owe him, even though they're going to give you more than what you need if you need it, right? Or more than what you have in the bank, I should say, right? But again, it does help, and 5%, man, that's a low number. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if we just doubled that, maybe we would be good. I don't know if we would still have, such a drastic need, but because I mean, again, I've never heard of anybody dying because they didn't have blood available. So, but at the same time, you got to get over that fear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then if it helps, unless you go to like a blood drive or something like that, they don't necessarily give you anything but snacks and stuff like that. Certain blood drives are put.
We lost you,
Yeah,
Ed.
we lost you, Ed, but yeah, certain it is a low number, and we do need to be donating at higher rates. God forbid something happened to any one of us, but even one to our listeners, we if we need blood, it's there, and
Mhm.
donating even plasma, even because of the platelets, and you could save a children's life. If you carry burdens on guiltiness, probably even donating blood and looking at it as doing something good and maybe even saving a child's life can be rewarding in a time when you might be feeling like you were negative in life. You were doing things you shouldn't been doing, and you looking for redemption and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's the
I mean,
smallest things, even helping out in the street, but even donating blood go a long way. Go ahead, Carol. My bad for
no,
interrupting.
no, no, that's okay. I was just donating blood is very important. Like I said, I had done it when I was younger. I'm resisting a little bit now, I guess, because it's like they say, sometimes it's just inconvenient, but you can make the time to go, and they always have blood banks around here where they're always asking, sometimes on just the local news, where they just need donations, like the early article y'all were saying, every time there's a disaster, American Red Cross is there, and it's like they need blood. A lot of these individuals, just based on whatever occurrences have occurred, What I didn't know about the article said that if you had just recently got a tattoo, I didn't know you couldn't donate blood if you had just recently got a tattoo. But
Yeah.
that was interesting to hear. And, a lot of people are getting tattoos now, but don't let that be the reason once it healed that you don't go donate.
Well, it has a lot more to do with the fact that when you just get a tattoo, technically that's an open wound.
Gotcha.
Uh, it's just like donate plasma. I mean, they look at you when you come in there. If if you scratched up, beat up, whatever. Oh no, you can't donate today.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Stuff like that. So, but no, what I was trying to say before my technology acted up on me. I mean, I've heard. I don't know, but I have heard that like if you go to a blood bank, some blood banks, they will pay you for your donation. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So, if that, be a reason, hey, you might pick up a couple bucks over there. I don't know what they're doing with, on the blood side, but I know plasma has definitely gone up a lot since
yeah.
I was donating.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot of people I know donate plasma, and they, shoot, sometimes $300 the first time they show up, and I'm like, what?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can make up to I think like $1,000 a month now if you
Hmm.
do it on a regular basis.
Yeah,
So that's a nice little chunk of change. Add to your income if you can find a few hours. Because again, them plasma centers, it is a waiting game. Depending on how many people in there, that's how long it's going to take you to get on the bed, and how many nurses are working as well. So. But I mean, again, it's always good to do this. Like Carol was saying, whenever something happens, where's the Red Cross? They right there, you know.
hmm,
And it's not just about the blood. You know what I'm saying? They do so much more, so much
yes,
more. I mean, they provide, help with shelters and getting vouchers for hotels and stuff, and in cases of disasters and clean up. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, they do a lot. So donating to them, whether it be blood or cash, I mean, you're just helping them continue to do all the great work that they do. So anyway, you got more to say, Pedro? Or
No, no, not really. Go ahead.
okay, well, we still got about 8 minutes of this segment. So, but
Okay. Well, yeah. Look,
okay.
they do have regulations and stuff like that. What you were saying about the open tattoos and sores like that, you go through a questionnaire as well. Um,
mm,
you go through a questionnaire. And they ask you various questions. They even give you a little bottle of water with a cookie when they're these mobile blood bank sites.
right, 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 right.
Yeah. So, it's always good to donate. If it were more, I don't know, what would bring people more in to donate more at a frequent rate? What you guys think would probably incentivize people to come in?
I think, them being open on the weekend, a lot of these facilities aren't open on the weekends. And, a lot of people work throughout the day. So you can't,
Mm,
take your hour off from lunch to go and sit on a chair and then try to function for the rest of the afternoon. A lot of the hours are just inconvenient. A lot of the locations are inconvenient, especially for our community. A lot of it is, in the outskirts where there's no, transportation other than Uber, and you would have to pay for that. It's not part of your dark paratransit or the bus line. So that makes it a lot of inconvenient for individuals in the blind community, because just trying to find transportation to get
mhm,
there,
mhm.
because a lot of people have that opportunity, but
Yeah.
just it's inconvenient to the hours and just the transportation to get to the locations. I think that would improve
Okay.
things on my end down here.
Mhm. No, well, in this end as well, planning it with a transportation that's locally here. Sometimes it's a guessing game. Sometimes you might get a time so early, and then let's say you there at your appointment. You donate blood. You have a certain time. You get out. You want to leave. You don't want to still have to sit there and wait an hour,
Especially
hour and a
feeling all
half.
woozy and stuff.
Yeah,
Hmm.
feeling all woozy and stuff. And I wonder if this is covered by medical insurance, and it should be. Imagine able to book a ride, medical transportation to go donate blood because it's a medical issue. It's
Right.
something that could be incentivized. It could probably get more blind people to go or disabled people to go donate
Right.
blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and
Yeah.
then I'm shocked to hear what you were saying about your paratransit out there, because ours, again, we ours will take us wherever we're going. It doesn't matter, you know.
Well,
Uh,
our paratransit here only does certain areas. You know, it does like Dallas, Irving, Glen Heights. It does just certain areas. So if there's no buses, like Lancaster, Duncanville, Cedar Hill, DeSoto, down here we don't have any buses. If it's not a bus line, then the DART line does not. The DART paratransit doesn't go
right,
there.
right, right, right. That makes
Now
sense.
It's a little
they're
like,
trying to they're trying to come up with a program now to where maybe starting next year, if you just pay $10, you can go to the outskirts, just the outer network areas that the dark paratransit doesn't service, like those cities that I just mentioned.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
they don't go there. It's just the way that program is set up. If the bus line is not there, then the dark paratransit does not go there.
We have that a little bit, and over here in Los Angeles is more common to go almost everywhere. But that we have those outskirt transportation paratransit systems that do say that, like over there where Ed's at, certain places in certain neighborhoods they won't go because there's no bus line there.
But it's stupid here. It's like, okay, on my side of the street is
Mm-hmm.
Duncanville. On the other side of the street is Dallas. So if I have an appointment across the street in Duncanville, I have to get off at a building in Dallas on the other side of the street and walk over there because they won't take me across the street. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
close areas
insane.
just like that, and it's silly. But
Well,
that's just the way the program is. So
they not that shitty over here. Excuse my language, but well, but again, like for instance, with and I know we're kind of going off topic. We're talking about access now, but like access, it, our
Well,
county line here, San
transit because
Bernardino, but again, our transit, Omnitrans, again, it'll take you to Montclair. That's the cutoff. That's the county line. It's the LA and San Bernardino County, right?
hmm
But yet Omni will take you down to Pomona Valley Hospital, which is technically in Pomona, which is, inside LA County, so,
right.
and it goes right past where we go do our meetings at in Claremont, but they won't take us to Claremont. You know what I'm saying? So they only take you to that specific location. But I mean, again, we got to
yeah.
do more to try to, encourage people to
Mm-hmm.
donate and stuff like that. I mean, like even, I was just talking about where we go in Claremont. They actually do a blood drive. I think it's at least twice a year they do a blood drive, and I mean, Red Cross is great about that. All you got to do is set it up, and they'll come with all the staff, all of the whatever is needed to facilitate the donation. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then it's on to the host of whoever put on the blood drive. Then they're the ones that volunteer and they pass out the juices and snacks and all that other kind of stuff to people when they're done. So
I
we
mean, they
got to
did
do
that.
more.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ed.
No, I'm just saying we got to do more.
I just remember them doing something like that for an employee of ours. He was sick, and I guess somebody bigger in the company just decided to, hey, just have all of us get together and donate blood. So they had these, like mobile home things outside of the building where you could go down and donate blood and come back to work. And they had the orange juice, cookies, and it just had it set up. You just walk inside this van or so whatever, this big old bus, and were able to do that. So,
Right, right, right. And again, that's the easiest way for them. That way they got like I say, a mobile donation center.
it was
They don't
Carter
have to
Blood
worry.
Bank. Yeah.
That way they don't have to worry about loading and unloading all the equipment that they need. It's all in that
You
vehicle.
breaking up is your
Yeah,
mic.
you breaking up. Your mic, Ed. You sound staticky, not washy like your internet, but you're like static, like your mic's about to go out.
Hmm
But yes, yes. We get it's true, Ed. We got to get out there and be more vigilant with donating, because it will come in handy for anyone being in a accident. It will. It's not a maybe. It will be handy, and it will be really helpful and life saving when it needs to. So it's always good to donate and stuff like that. I believe we're at that mark, right, Ed?
Yeah, I was checking the comments. I didn't hear you.
Okay, no, I wanted you to just talk so I could see. You sound good now. I'm gonna play one of these commercials, and we'll be back.
You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
Hustlin' jingles, $10 a shots. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
Well, like I always say, we got jingles for every occasion. You know what I'm saying? Memories that last forever. You know what I'm saying? So, and also just a quick note, we are still selling our T-shirts. I mean, they have gone up now. They are $20 plus shipping and handling. But again, hey, if you want to try to help support what we do here at Blind United, again, it goes a long way to help us, pay for all of the stuff that we're doing here, that we're providing everybody else for free. All these platforms that we use, Zoom, the StreamYard, and there's a few other things that we have to pay for on a regular basis that don't necessarily without you guys' help, we can't get it done. And the sale of these T-shirts helps towards that, making all of this stuff happen. So, anyway, this last article is about what we can do to try to do more. You know what I'm saying? So check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other end.
Hey Blind United crew, for our final cup today, let's turn our conversation toward action. We've talked about the critical need for blood and the very human barriers that can prevent donations. So, how do we help bridge that gap? How can we, as individuals and as a community, better support organizations like the American Red Cross in their life-saving mission? The good news is that there are many powerful ways to contribute. Even if you are unable to donate blood yourself, the first and most powerful tool we all have is our voice. Becoming an ambassador for blood donation can have a massive ripple effect. You can share information from the Red Cross on social media, talk to friends and family about the importance of donating, and share your own positive experiences if you have them. Personal stories are often the most effective motivators. When one person shares their story, it can demystify the process and inspire a dozen others to act. If you're part of a company, a place of worship, or a community group, you can take it a step further by organizing a blood drive. The Red Cross provides all the necessary equipment and staff. All they need is a space and a dedicated coordinator to help get the word out and sign people up. For those who have the time, volunteering is another crucial way to support the cause. Blood drives depend on volunteers to create a welcoming and comfortable environment. They help with greeting donors, registration, and, perhaps most importantly, managing the snack station after the donation. A friendly face and a reassuring presence can make all the difference in turning a first-time donor into a lifelong donor. This kind of support frees up the medical staff to focus solely on the technical aspects of the donation process, making the entire operation run more smoothly. From a broader community perspective, the key is to make donating as convenient as possible. Businesses can play a huge role by offering employees paid time off to go donate, removing the financial pressure of taking time away from work. Community centers can regularly offer their spaces to host drives, bringing the opportunity directly into the neighborhoods where people live. Some of the most successful campaigns also use creative incentives. While the core motivation will always be altruism, a fun t-shirt, a gift card, or a friendly competition between local businesses can provide that extra nudge people need to turn their good intentions into action. Ultimately, strengthening our nation's blood supply is a community-wide project that requires a multifaceted approach. It's about raising awareness, volunteering time, providing spaces, and creating a supportive culture that celebrates the simple, life-giving act of donation. Building a stable blood supply requires creativity and a collective effort. What is the most effective or innovative idea you've ever seen to encourage more people to donate blood? We'd love to hear your ideas in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, it's got me thinking. I'm thinking that maybe Blind United at some point we need to try to incorporate a blood drive in here somewhere. I don't know. It might even be something we might be able to even do when we do our walk a mile thing. We'll have a lot of people there, so maybe that'll help out as well. I don't know. Something we can talk about, but yeah, we got to do more. I mean, encourage people to do this. Uh, you know, the organization is putting on whatever event. Maybe they can come up with some incentives, for people to donate. I mean, you would think that giving life would be enough incentive, and that's what it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? That should be the driving factor. But I hate to say it, but it seems like the world is getting more and more selfish. And it's so selfless to be able to donate. That act. Just not everybody's that way anymore. So, but again, I just think that's something we really need to work into what we're trying to do. And when if you do are able to donate, when you hear about a blood drive, you know what I'm saying? Man, go participate. If you can, donate. Back to that I guess you say old negative thing. I know the person I know that has that blood. They call her all the time. Hey, can we get you to come down and donate? And then they kind of like got it on the calendar. They know when you can donate again, and as soon as that time is up, they on the phone to her again. Hey, we really need your help. So I see the need, I understand the need, and I also understand. We got to do more to try to encourage people in the society to just do that simple act of selflessness, and man, just try to help others out. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. Like you said, take about an hour of your day or whatever. Other things we're talking about. Yeah, okay, that would be good if employers would give you time off to do that. But at the same time, if it's true, I don't know, and it may not be everywhere. Like Carol was staying down there where she's at, they're not necessarily open on the weekends. But it seems like that would be an easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just rotate some of your staff, and have them. They got a couple of days off in the week, and they work on the weekends. That way you can facilitate those donations on the weekend and give people, they can do it on their free time rather than trying to fight and get off of work. You get off work, you got to go home, you got to make dinner. you don't have no time to do it after work and through the week and stuff like that. So I just think that would be another great idea as well. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I got there, Carol.
It might be something that I could start down here and actually start talking to some of the blood banks and saying, hey, it would be so much easier, if you all would just change your hours, open up on the weekend, you get more participation, because it doesn't seem like you were saying, Ed, the world is just selfish, and it's like, but then again, a lot of people are fearful of needles and things like that. But people do want to help. It doesn't seem like we really think about it unless someone in our family has been touched to where, or it's an accident, they need blood, or you hear this story on the news where, this something has happened to where now you're kind of woke and you want to do something to help. But a lot of people really do want to get involved and do things of that sort as far as donation and trying to give life, but again, this inconvenience. So maybe I can make some phone calls and say, especially like these church organizations or different groups, after they leave whatever it is they doing, they go as a group, or family, make it as a little type of event that they do, to where it's something that becomes common and routine and convenient, and then they have everything they need. So it's something I think that I probably will look into myself to do, because it's
Right.
important to give blood. It really, really, really is.
And if they got one of those donation vehicles like we were talking about, hey, like I said, they can just park outside the church. You can go in there,
Mm-hmm.
get fed by the Lord, and come on out and donate a little back to those that couldn't make it to church. You know
All
what I'm saying?
right.
So, so I mean, it's always good to do what we can. You got any ideas on how to encourage people, Pedro?
You could have a competition among friends, who goes to donate, or you could go together as a group, go donate plasma as a group, sit together next to each other, watch a movie on each other's phones. You could connect your AirPods together to watch a movie on the same phone, or listen to a movie in our case, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
make it something like that. You could be spending time being entertained and donating blood, make it
Right.
a group effort. When it comes to companies, yeah, that was cool what Carol was saying. Like, and even in the article that it gets into like a competition amongst companies. That's a good idea. Um, Another thing, yeah, Carol advocating that you need those in the weekend because people do work. People are gonna work for their livelihood, and I know donating blood is a great cause, but they're gonna be tired, they're gonna be exhausted. You got people sometimes doing 12-hour shifts and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
it's true. Having them open in the weekend can help, and them being mobile helps a lot as well. They could pull up in a church, they could pull up in a park in an event that we do or you go to. Um, so there's different things, variety things that they could probably do. But to tailor something more to our community, um, well, what can they incentivize us with? What
Hmm.
you
Well, I
guys?
mean, what you're
Mhm,
saying, it's already running through my head. Like I said, maybe it's something, we can do it with Blind United, and then when you brought up the competition, well, maybe we can, as an organization, can challenge some of the other blind groups and chapters and stuff like that, to donate, you know what I'm saying? And create a competition, maybe have a prize for whichever chapter or
mhm,
group has the most people donate. You know what I'm saying? We
Right.
got a
mhm,
grand prize for them, maybe a donation to their chapter or group or whatever the case may be. But, just create some friendly competition and help save lives. I don't know.
Right. Because who
mhm,
don't like competition? I mean, even though we can't see, we still like to compete in all different types of things, right?
Yep.
mhm, mhm. And just thinking about that, Ed, I already got an idea in my head, and I'll tell you about it after the show.
I mean, again, it just, as we were sitting there going through it, I'm just thinking, I'm putting pieces here and pieces there, and I just, you
Right.
know, something like that might work.
Yeah, imagine these groups, everybody put it in a pot, $100, right? And then whoever gets the most blood donations gets that gift card or that donation to their chapter or group or organization.
Right,
Hmm.
right, right. I mean, there's different
Okay.
ways we can do it.
Yeah, different ways.
We're gonna definitely have to bring that one to the table and see if we can work something out because I think that would be a great thing for us to do. Not only mostly for the people that we're gonna help, right, but at the same time, just creating that friendly competition amongst the various groups. That camaraderie. Just having connection with these folks and all this other kind of stuff. I just think it would be a really really good thing. I do. I
Of
really really
course.
do.
Yes.
And who's
Hmm.
to say, like the young lady that you all had spoke about, that you all know that possibly has to go back every month? Who's to say that what you all donated didn't help her? Isn't helping, her to just continue to maintain her best life living it.
Yes, 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 and that's true. Um, do you know this also? It can be a community building effort as well because you get to know your different organizations, different groups. You get to be interacting with them and all that good stuff. And it's like I said, a community building. You get to meet new folks in the community as well, and that friendly competition can help a life. Can help a life.
I mean, anytime you do anything to help somebody else's life, you know, uh, uh, move forward, whether it's donating blood, donating kidneys. I mean, just filling out a donate card when you go get your driver's license. You'd be surprised how much stuff in your body that they can use to help somebody else. You know,
I'm definitely
uh,
a donor for sure.
well, I mean, I've been one since I got my first driver's license.
Me
So
too. Me too, Ed.
they don't give you that little red sticker to put on the back of your license no more,
No,
but
not no more. Not no more.
but hopefully it's still on record somewhere. Maybe I need to check into that and make sure that I'm still listed as
Well, I know
so.
when I renewed mine, it gives you the option to sign up again. So I don't know, you know.
Well, I don't either because I don't remember that part. But again, it's something to look into. So yeah, well, here at Blind United, we're gonna come up with something. We're gonna be talking about something real soon to where we can, like I said, put something together and maybe create that friendly competition and see what we can do to make it happen. For folks in the community as well. It's we want to help everybody we can. You know what I'm saying? We're sighted, blind, black, white, red, green. I don't care. Whatever. Uh, uh, we all need it. We all need it. And then again, like I said, we often don't even think about it. As humans, whatever, we don't think about it until we need it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I mean, it's something that's like I say, step outside of your comfort zone. I mean, I don't really like needles either, but I found out, that it's not necessarily the needles I'm scared of. It's the person holding the needle. If they don't know what they're doing, if they don't know what they're doing, man, it hurts. But
Right.
when you get
Ed,
them
you know my
folks to
trick.
you get
You
them
know my
folks to
trick.
the
I put my fingers on them, and so I'm like, you get two chances. So each time you hurt me, I'ma pinch you.
well, I mean, again, I've had people that that hurt, and then I've had other people that, oh, okay, well, when are you gonna get started? Well, I'm done. Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
Shit. What's your name? I need to request you every time I come in here.
Always, right?
So, but anyway, we at the end of our show again today. So, man, as always, as closing, please like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, all that good stuff. It really, really does help, And then keep in mind what we're saying all day. We're talking about donating blood, man. I mean, think about it. Have you ever, or when was the last time you did it? It could really, really help somebody out. Like I said, 1 pint of blood, because they're not going to take but a pint. Okay, so but 1 pint of blood has the potential to save 3 people. 3 people for 1 pint of blood. So again, think about it, do what you can, follow us, and then keep, and like I said, we're going to come up with something. We're definitely going to come up with something where we can try to make this happen and, you know, do all we can to serve our community at large, not just the blind community, but the community at large. So, on that note, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your hump day. And then we'll see you back here tomorrow with another show. Have a great day.